and I disagree on some very fundamental things to me.
Tucker.
Yes, Zoran, as the Islamic-style jihadist, wants fires to continue burning. I, as a Jewish commissioner of the fire department of New York, obviously don't want fires to continue burning buildings. This is the fundamental disagreement that we have. Yeah, the Georgia prosecutor dropped the election interference case against Trump and others. Big W for Trump. I'm just going to skip that one. I don't really care about that. FDNY commissioner says faith is a factor in leaving role after the Mamdani win and says it's an emotional decision. I mean, this guy was already bad news anyway, but let's take a look.
New York, with the largest police and fire departments in the country and a more than $100 billion budget, New York is a very tough city to govern, and it can be even more so when incoming Mayor Zoran Mamdani has apologized for past calls to defund the police.
Another fake win for the admin, okay?
Last week, in a closely watched decision, Police Commissioner Jessica Tisch said she had accepted the mayor-elect's offer to stay in her job. But Fire Commissioner Robert Tucker announced his resignation effective December 19th, just hours after Mamdani was elected. Both leaders are Jewish, and in his first interview since deciding to leave, Tucker told me his faith is...
Dude, Barry Weiss at it again, okay? This guy is notoriously corrupt. The very fact that you guys are interviewing him directly, the very fact that CBS News is interviewing him directly as though he is some sort of like consequential figurehead in this admin and has like serious gripes with Zoran Mamdani's incoming mayoral administration is so pathetic and so stupid. Okay? Oh, it's my religion. My faith is a factor in leaving the role after Mamdani won. It was an emotional decision.
One of the reasons he decided to quit. Talking about police and public safety has been a little bit awkward for Mayor-elect Mamdani because of some of his past comments. Does he have some work to do still in winning over the support of first responders in New York?
Yeah, I think he has a tremendous amount of work to do, and I think it's work well worth doing.
While Robert Tucker's police counterpart, Jessica Tisch, is staying on.
I respect her.
Oh my God, brother. What is this dumbass news piece, man? Oh my Lord. Oh no, dude. We have to hear from every person. We have to hear from every person that thinks Zoran is bad. And especially if they're Jewish, okay? Like, what are we doing here? Oh, your faith is what guided you. Your faith is what motivated you. Oh no. Oh no.
For the decision to stay, and I know she respects me for my decision to leave.
The fire commissioner submitted this brief letter of resignation one day after Zoran Mamdani won New York City's mayoral election.
To what extent is this decision of yours about being a Jewish New Yorker?
Yeah, I think it's a factor, no doubt. And I don't want to tell you that it's the only factor, but I believe that the things that I have heard the mayor say would make it difficult for me to continue on in such a senior executive role in the...
What the are you, bro? I don't think these guys realize this kind of shit, like this kind of like tying this back to your faith or whatever, doesn't actually make Zoran look bad at all. It just makes you and the entire religion look bad for the onlookers. Also, it's additionally funny because he is like a notoriously corrupt guy. The former FDNY chief got 3 years in prison for taking bribes to fast-track safety inspections. Okay, this was all the way back in this was a story back in May 14th of this year. Okay. Second former high-ranking FDNY official sentenced to prison for role in bribery conspiracy. The fire department in New York commissioners are notoriously corrupt. Justice covering the New York City's current fire commissioner, who is resigning over Zoran Mamdani's position on Israel, has zero firefighter experience and was appointed by Mayor Eric Adams after making a donation to Adams. To borrow a line from Brad Lander, good riddance. Who gives a shit, dude? Like, why is this relevant?
Administration.
Mamdani's political rise has been taken as an ominous sign by many Jewish leaders.
Zoran Mamdani has contributed to a mainstreaming of some of the most abhorrent anti-Semitism.
Who point to, among other things, his opposition to Israel as a Jewish state.
Look, it's a complicated, emotional decision to.
Brother, you are the commissioner, or were the commissioner of the fire department in New York. Okay? What the are you talking about? His opposition to Israel as a Jewish state? Like, this in and of itself openly shows that you are not capable of doing this job anyway. He's not a firefighter, by the way, chatters. He's never fought a single fire. He's just a guy who knows that this position is notoriously easy to win favors on, and bribed his way to getting the position after the previous guys got arrested for using that position to fast track building permits without proper fire safety inspections. Notice how being a Jewish leader has never been an Islamic issue, but the other way around is a Jewish issue, yet somehow Muslims are the intolerant ones. It's not even a thing. These are dipshits who think they can masquerade, who think they can carefully craft an Islamophobic narrative while shielding themselves and making it seem as though this is a disagreement in their faith. Can you imagine a Muslim fire department commissioner turning around and being like, yeah, oh, our mayor's a Jew? Sorry, I can't do that. Did you already cover the Barry Weiss clip about you? Yes, I did it yesterday. Like, can you imagine? That would be insane. Also, this has nothing to do with Judaism. This dickhead is just simply saying that it has something to do with his Jewish faith. It's ridiculous. It's insane. And I think most people don't actually look at this and go, wow, well, this actually lends credibility to the fears that a lot of Jewish New Yorkers feel about Zohran Mamdani. No, it makes people go, okay, what's up with these Jews? That's what people say. It breeds anti-Semitism. Okay? For the onlookers, they look at this, who aren't brain broken by pro-Israel sentiment. The onlookers that look at this go, what the f is this guy saying? What's up with Jews is the question that they ask. That's how you become more hostile to Judaism, Jewish people in general.
But ideologically, there's no doubt that the mayor and I disagree on some very fundamental things to me.
Tucker.
Yes, Zohran, as the Islamic-style jihadist, wants fires to continue burning. I, as a Jewish commissioner of the fire department of New York, obviously don't want fires to continue burning buildings. This is the fundamental disagreement that we have.
And others aren't convinced by the mayor-elect's words of reassurance.
I will be the mayor who doesn't just protect Jewish New Yorkers, but also celebrates and cherishes them.
More importantly than hearing it, we want to see it. And, you know, there was an example very recently on the Upper...
Brother, do your job. Literally, your faith has nothing to do with you doing your job. What the is this conversation? Dude, it doesn't matter. No matter what I say, obviously, listen to me, because a big part of Zionism revolves around Islamophobia. And you know, my background, it becomes a filter for many Zionists. Like, they just literally will refuse to hear me say this, okay? But this kind of pairing is not working anymore. The faster you realize that, and the faster you craft a new narrative, the better it will be for all of the Jews who aren't Zionists, who aren't as fucking invested in the state of Israel being an ethno-state, okay? I know you don't care personally, but I'm sure you have relatives that are going to be falsely maligned in this regard. It is so fucking stupid. It's like if a Muslim candidate or a Muslim New York police department commissioner and a fire department commissioner was running around being like, as a Muslim, I think the criticisms against ISIS are very Islamophobic. I can't believe it. As a Muslim, I can't work with a Jewish mayor. As a Muslim, I can't do this. As a Muslim, I can't do that. Why is everybody being so Islamophobic against Al-Qaeda and ISIS? Okay? That's the way people read it, because people don't fuck with Israel anymore. Any Jewish Zionist that runs around claiming all Jews are Zionists, all Jews are Zionists, is actually doing a disservice. Okay? They are doing a disservice. They are making Americans and everyone else that's tuning in that hasn't had their brains cooked by Zionism in general, who are, the majority position now is anti-Israel. They're making all those anti-Israel people go, okay, I guess all Jews are Zionists. All right, well, then, I'm against all Jews now because I'm against Israel. Like, this is a ridiculous thing to say and do. What about you, people starving while you earn money? You're right. You're right. I should not be earning money when other people are starving. You also earn money while people starve, for the record. Everybody does that. This is not a normal standard to apply to any human being, I think. Very confusing. But thank you. Thank you for the incredible retort. Oh my God, Farley. Oh my God. You're right. I'm quitting this job. Joke's on you. I don't earn money. I'm an unpaid grad student. Every dollar ever made was done while people are starving. Literally. That doesn't even make any sense. Why do these guys never have a follow-up?
East Side.
Park East Synagogue.
Yeah, Park East Synagogue.
In a protest last week outside a synagogue hosting an event to support Jewish immigration to Israel, activists shouted threats. A Mamdani spokesperson was
What's your problem with Jews having their one country? I mean, where do I fucking begin? I'm anti-ethno-state no matter what, especially when the ethno-state is designed and built on top of indigenous land where there were non-Jews living there alongside Jews. I have a very controversial opinion on this matter. It's called I'm anti-fascist and anti-ethno-states in general. Okay? And before you say Japan, I don't have any disagreements there either. Japan is literally cooking itself alive at this point because of its incredibly xenophobic anti-immigrant attitudes. So, it's bad. Anytime Israel mentioned on the chat, some of the stupidest fucking motherfuckers come in to be like, well, what about this? What about that?
Quoted saying he discouraged the language, adding in an apparent nod of support to the protesters that these sacred spaces should not be used to promote activities in violation of international law.
I don't know that the public has heard appropriately from him.
What could he have done?
Look, I think he could have come out very quickly and condemned the behavior and some of the rhetoric. But again,
by not doing it, what are your concerns?
Yeah, I'm less worried about what he didn't do and more worried about him, realizing the.
Not the Japan gaslighting? What do you mean? Y'all need to get that distinction. True, but several countries doing that, if not all, right now. Not the Japan gaslighting. It's gaslighting to say that Japan notoriously has a self-defeating mentality about maintaining some kind of ethnic and national purity. That's not gaslighting. That's just an accurate reflection of events. I say this as someone who loves traveling to Japan. Okay? How did Japan become Japanese? How did Turkey become Turkish? How did Israel become Jewish? Genocide is the answer in all three cases. Yeah, the difference, of course, is that this is currently ongoing, Like, we can talk about the legacy of the death and destruction that the Ainu people faced in Japan. Okay? Turkey also isn't Turkey is not a religious ethno-state. And I would say neither is Japan. It is an ethno-state, however. Regardless, this is not only happening currently, but it's also happening with American support. There's interviews Two Annoying Freaks saying yes to each other meme. Yeah.
Enormity of his job.
Inside headquarters in Brooklyn.
This is the nucleus of how we run the department.
Where the FDNY coordinates
what? I feel like it's being
responses
exaggerated. It's reaching a little. That's never the answer. Why would that be the answer? God, some of us are still fucking mammals. What are you saying, Turbo Granny? Yeah. There's a hit piece on Zoran Mamdani. Tucker knew he was going to be fired because he's an unqualified hack. 6 weeks before Tucker's appointment last August 8th, employees of a security business made political contributions to Mayor Adams on the same day. No mention of that. Yeah, it is. It is directly a fucking attack. It's a very clear cut. It's a very clear cut attack, and much like many of the Barry Weiss related news pieces, it got very little motion. This video has been up on Twitter for hours. It got 18 likes, dude. Nobody wants anything that Bari Weiss is putting out. It's so funny. Why are your chatters so arrogant and hateful, racist and hateful? I don't know. That's the funniest thing. They just like, Bari Weiss is not only getting paid to do Hasbara, getting paid to try and make people pro-Israel, but she's also failing to do so because she's so goddamn incompetent. It's really funny. But yeah, Tony DeCoppel, Tony Double Cirque is Barry's strongest soldier. Tony was already doing this before Bari came in and took charge, you know?
Agencies across America's biggest city.
You're going to miss this.
Very much.
Tucker says they're still waiting for outreach from Mamdani.
That I haven't had any personal conversations with the mayor-elect. I haven't heard from anyone in his incoming administration, nor has the department. And so I only hope that is not an indicator of their feelings about the FDNY. I'd like to think they think everything is going so well here that they don't need to transition so fast.
Well, things are going well at the fire department. I mean, look, it's a great department. I want to point out that Robert Tucker, the commissioner there, he loves his job. He loves the people he's working with.
He quit. Why would they reach out? They got shit to do. Yeah. Well, the reason why they're even doing a fucking news bit on this is because they want to do an anti-Zoran. They want to do anti-Zoran coverage, but they want to do it as subtly as possible, even though this is as subtle as a fucking heart attack. The very fact that this dipshit resigned, knowing full well that he most likely would have been replaced anyway, because he was an incompetent asshole who paid for the position, is ridiculous. I cannot believe that they interviewed this fucking dipshit. They're so stupid. This is so dumb. Thank God Bari Weiss is the greatest propagandist Israel has, because she is really fucking bad. Bro, someone in the chat just says states have to do genocide to become states, so genocide is normal. No, they didn't say that, so genocide is normal. I don't think they were saying that, even though I obviously criticized that take regardless. That chatter wasn't even implying it. That chatter was saying the other chatter was implying it. It's because I love my chatters and I love my stream.
Joining me now is someone who calls Tennessee home. It's Fox News contributor Brett Cooper. Brett, you just had a child. Congratulations, by the way. I didn't know you were giving up so much power.
Thank you. I know, that's just so embarrassing of me. I just need to go stand in a cafeteria and scream it.
Scream that you want power. I guess the path to that is running for Congress. But you have a hard time, I would think, getting elected with the positions and the opinions that have been out there about Afton Bain in Tennessee.
No, it's pretty crazy. And, you know, I'm seeing a lot of people compare her to AOC. She's comparing herself to Zohran Mamdani. But I feel like the difference between those candidates, those politicians, and her is that AOC does claim to love New York. Mamdani claims to love New York City. Afton Bain hates Nashville, and she's walking around saying, oh, I represent downtown Nashville. You know, that is the Broadway area. That is where all the tourists are. And yet she's getting on podcasts, she's getting on the news and saying, no, I hate country music. I hate everything that makes Nashville Nashville. It's like, is that really who we want to be representing us? Absolutely not.
Well, let's dive into that question there, Brett, because, you know, we have seen the growth of this movement. It's as you point out, not just Zohran Mamdani, but the Seattle mayor is openly socialist. A guy in a runoff in Minneapolis was socialist. It's happening more and more across the country, mainly in urban areas, mainly in big cities. And you and I are both not strangers to this. I'm from Texas. I know what has happened to Austin. Is that not happening as well to Nashville? Does somebody like Afton Bain have a shot in Nashville?
Unfortunately, I do think she does. And I think she does because the people in Nashville are also worried about affordability and the price of groceries, and that is what she's primarily been speaking about. I mean, that's the same reason I think that Zohran won in New York City. So I think that she has a shot there. However, again, she just has a complete, utter disdain for not just our city, but also our state and the values that make this state great, that make it such a haven from people who move all over the country, who, grit their teeth and say, no, I'm never leaving because I love Tennessee. And unfortunately, Nashville is more of a purple area. I think that's actually, I said unfortunately, but I think that's one of the things that makes Nashville wonderful, is that people can cohabitate and live amongst each other. And I feel like politics is never something that I am, disagreeing with people on or being confronted with in Nashville. And I think that if she was elected, she would make it far more radical, far more progressive, and just take the city in a further left direction, which would not be good for us.
So, but just to be clear, Brett, what would kill her presidential campaign is not necessarily